Hello everyone, welcome to this new series of videos all about guitar technique. And we start with the staple diet of technique, which is alternate picking. Alternate picking, as the name implies, involves alternating between a downstroke and an upstroke. Sometimes strictly, sometimes not so much. But either way, it needs to be automated so that you don't have to worry about what this hand is doing. Some simple rules. First of all, you want to hold the pick between your thumb and your first finger. Yes, I know there are many exceptions to that, but for most people that works the best. Notice that I'm not using the pad of my finger, but the side of my finger. And I've got a very little pick showing, and I'm using a fairly rigid pick. I think this one's about 1mm. So I'd go for 1mm or more. Most of the time you want your picking hand to be resting on or near the bridge. You can rest the squidgy thumb muscle, this squidgy bit here, or the gap here, as long as you're resting somewhere. And as I move across the strings, I make sure I maintain this kind of line here. So my wrist does the work, but my arm repositions my hand so that I don't end up at this awkward angle. Another thing that's really important is that we synchronize both of the hands together. You'll have a dominant hand, it might not be the one you think it is, but that will always try and race ahead of the other one. So this is where metronomes and drum machines come in. They help both hands to focus on a click at the same time, thus keeping them in sync. Also, the metronome having a tempo on its display will help you to see that you're improving. Speed, by the way, comes from accuracy, so don't rush yourself. Make sure you're getting everything perfectly accurate and then worry about speed later on. One final point is when you're holding a pick, you don't really want it 90 degrees to the strings all the time. Sometimes a slight lean that way or that way is a good idea, depending on what it takes to clear the strings. Let me show you what I mean. If I play an A minor pentatonic scale, I play the first two notes with a down, then an up. Down, up. What I don't want to do is lean backwards like this because I've got down, up, and I'm stuck on the wrong side of the E string. And now I have to hop over that string to get to the A string. It's better in this case to lean that way, so I've got down, up, and I've cleared the string and I'm ready to go on to my next one. So the first exercise is hiding within the A minor pentatonic scale. We're going to do this. We're going to play 5 and 7 on the A string using a downstroke, then an upstroke. Same on the D string, 5, 7, down, up. Same on the G, and back to the D. And this is going to help us to automate this down, up thing. Make sure it's always the 5th fret first on every string. Okay, and when you get faster, you can try this with the metronome. I'm going to use this ancient drum machine I borrowed. Okay, so I'm playing quavers or 8th notes, which count in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But if that's too fast, just start with crotchets or quarter notes, which go 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're really confident, you can go up to semi-quavers, which we count like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Notice my hand is going down, up, down, up, down, up. And I'm leaning down ever so slightly so that I clear the strings all the time. Now we can also do this exercise starting with an upstroke, but in this case, to clear the strings and not get trapped between them, I need to slightly lean backwards like this. The next exercise is the reverse of the last one. We're going to start on the G string with a 7, then a 5, and work this way. So we're going to go 7, 5, and then the same on the D, same on the A, back to the D. Let's start with a downstroke. Crotchets first, and when you're confident, you can work up to quavers, 2 and 3 and 4 and when you're really confident, you can do semi-quavers, and starting with an upstroke as well. I'm doing this at 100 beats a minute, by the way, but you can do it any speed you want to. Let's develop that exercise a bit more into a useful lick that we can apply in our solos. What we can do is we can play a series of notes, 6 notes of the pentatonic scale like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then go back a string to the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back a string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back a string. Okay, so with the metronome we've got 2, 3, 4. Quicker, 3, 4, and reverse. Another variation of that is we can do string skipping. Now this is really useful to stop this hand from doing that funny angle I was talking about. What can happen is if we change strings and make big jumps quickly, people end up doing this kind of thing. by the time they get to the top E string, at such an angle, it's really hard to actually hit the strings and connect with the pick properly. So what you want to do is glide across the bridge as if that was some kind of rail, so that my hand repositions itself, so that my technique is consistent from string to string. So you get this kind of thing: E string, jump to the D, back to the A, jump a string to the G string, back to the D string, jump to the B string, go back to the G string, jump to the E string. So we've got this. 3, 4. Reverse. Jump string, go back string, jump, back, jump. The next exercise is the good old chromatic scale. A chromatic scale is simply every note in the row. So you could just do this, but it's not very useful. So instead we're going to do this. We're going to play 4 notes in a row with all 4 fingers. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. This hand going down, up as always. Then we're going to go to the next string, but we're going to move to the 4th fret. Down, up, down, up. Next string is the 3rd fret. Then move over to the 2nd fret. The B string's the same again, the 2nd fret. Then the top E, 1st fret. When we get to the end here, we're going to shift over a fret and reverse this. 5, 4, 3, 2, shift over. 6, 5, 4, 3, same on the G. 6, 5, 4, 3, shift over. 7, shift over to 8, shift over to 9, and slide back and start again. You're going to find on the way back this is much more difficult, so slow down. In fact, do this without the drum machine or metronome. Just make sure you've got that ironed out first and worry about the rhythm section later. So this is what it sounds like. I'll start with quavers. 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Shift. And start again. And this time semi-quavers. These are all 16th notes. Now I talked about this pick slanting. Sometimes you'll play a lick that's engineered so that you can just keep your hand slanting down or slanting upwards. Sometimes licks aren't that convenient. Sometimes you have to quickly flip between these little angles. So we're going to do an exercise that will help you with that. So take this one slowly. It goes 10, 12, 13. 10, 12, 13 on the top here. So I've got... Then I'm going to come down the same way I came up. So back, down the scale, up the scale, to 10 on the thin string, and then back where I came. So I've got... My right hand's going down, up, down. I'm leaning back a little bit like this, if I exaggerate, so that I clear the string, ready for an up on the thin string. I'm having to lean the other way now, so I can clear the string, ready for a down on the B string. Lean the other way, and quickly lean back, and start again. So you'll see the tab, it's... Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A bit quicker. So moving on to much more difficult things, we're going to play a lick that moves across the whole neck in the key of C or A minor. It's the same notes. And what we're going to do is we are not going to change string. We're going to not have to worry about which way we're going to lean, but we are going to have to be very consistent and make sure the hands are in sync. So again, we use some kind of drum machine. So here is the first exercise. I'll quickly show it to you. So we're going to start down here. We're going to go 6 on the B string and then 3, 5, 6. We're going to shift over and play 8, 5, 6, 8. So we've got this. And it's in nice convenient blocks of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Making it very easy to count. We can do quavers, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and semi-quavers, 16th notes. 1 meander, 2 meander. Then we're going to move over to 10, 6, 8, 10. 12, 8, 10, 12. So we've got... Ideally, you want to do this seamlessly. You don't want to hear this or panic. You want to have it this kind of thing. And then moving on, we've then got 13, 10, 12, 13. 15, 12, 13, 15. Now if this is getting confusing, you don't need the whole lick. You can just take little bits of it and just practice that. Even this first bit. Stop. And then build on it. Okay, carrying on. So we've got... And then we're going to go 17, 13, 15, 17, 18, 15, 17, 18, 20, 17, 18, 20, and we'll bend. So 100 beats a minute we've got. 3, 4. Or now a much more difficult rhythm, we're going to look at sextuplets, which is where we play 6 notes for every beat. This is very fast. You could do it as little blocks of 3, but I find it easier to count 6s for this. So we're going to play a C major scale, not a caged shape, we're going to play a big stretchy one. This is the scale first. It's 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 13, and reverse. 13, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10, 12, 10, 9, again. 12, 10, 8, again. So we've got... Okay, actually you could do that as an exercise on its own, really. So you have 2, 3, 4. And it's surprisingly difficult because I have to change my pick slant so that I escape the strings every time. But the lick we're going to do gets around that problem of having to change direction by playing sextuplets. So we've engineered this lick so that our hand can lean in one direction. So I'm going to lean up slightly and start with a down, and I'm going to go 8, 10, 12, same on the next string. I'm going to repeat that string and go 8, 10, 12, next string, 9, 10, 12. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can even accent the first beat of all those if it helps you to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to go 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. So I've repeated that 9, 10, 12 on the D string there. So repeat that 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. Repeat that string 9, 10, 12, 10, 12, 13. Repeat that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what it sounds like. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could reverse that, of course. In that case, I went down the scale, but then repeated the B string, down the scale, repeat the G string, down the scale, repeat the D, repeat the A. Now a variation of that lick. Have a listen to this. Okay, so what I did there was I went 13, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. So 13, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to start with a downward lean. So I'll clear the string. You could start with an upstroke, in which case you need an upward lean to clear the strings. Do the same on the B string. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Same on this string, but going 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 9. Same on the D. Now this string is a bit stretchy. 12, 8, 10, 12, 10, 8. And then 12, 8, 10, 12, 13, 8. So I've got... 3, 4. Now at this point I should point out that you should never just learn a lick, learn from a lick. So there's no reason why you can't apply that series of notes in across the whole neck in different patterns, like some of the earlier ones we did. So when we did this, 6 notes, back string, that was over pattern 1 of the A minor pentatonic scale, but why not do it over pattern 2? And and so on. Finally, let's look at an Eric Johnson-ism. So Eric Johnson used to do a very strange thing where he would play, say, semiquavers, but he would do 5 notes for every phrase, which is very strange. So you get this kind of thing. So if I do, say, a D minor pentatonic scale, you can go, starting from, say, the top string here, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes like that, starting with a downstroke. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, Eric Johnson used to have a quite noticeable downward pick slant like this. So you get down, up, down, up, down. He'd finish the phrase and then go onto the B string and do the same thing, but we interrupt our alternate picking here. We're actually going to go and sweep from this down stroke on that last note we played to the B string. We're going to push from that string onto the next string like this. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, down, push to the B string, 13th fret. And then do 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. So up to speed, we've got. And Eric Johnson would do this across the neck using different patterns. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that was useful to you. If so, please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.